Hi. Welcome to the second version of the Validus Games Team Invitational of Endeavor Defensive Fitness. This is your video walkthrough. Event 1. It's a 400-meter team plate carry. All 6 members will do a full-blown plate carry of 400 meters. Gentlemen will have to use 45 pounds. Ladies will have to use a 25-pound plate. Inside of that 10-minute cap, you will be establishing a 10-rep max front squat. So pretty straightforward and simple. At the countdown of 3, 2, 1, go, the clock starts. All 6 teammates will take off out the door. So they go for their lovely 400-meter plate carry. Because we don't actually want to wait, they're just going to turn right back around and come in. All right? They'll come back in and they'll have each a station. So the ladies' barbell will actually already be staged on the rack. The gentleman's bar will be staged on the floor. The barbells have to start empty. Okay? You can go any addition of weight that you want. You can go up, you can go down. There's no standard stipulations on how much weight you put on, who does what, doesn't matter. You have the remainder of that 10-minute mark after your 400-meter run to establish a 10-rep max front squat for all 6 athletes. Okay? A couple of things just to keep in mind. Again, ladies get to go from the rack. Gentlemen have to take from the floor. Your teammates are not allowed to lift the barbell up for you. So it must initiate with a clean from the ground. So they completed their 400-meter run. They come inside. All 3 gentlemen are working on one guy's barbell. All 3 ladies are working on the top barbell. Ladies are coming from the rack. Pretty straightforward. You guys should know range of motion standards for front squats. Cleans it from the floor. A full clean is perfectly acceptable for your first squat. Ladies, obviously, has nothing to do with cleaning, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, barbells go down. All 10 reps must be counted full. If you get no rep, that does not mean that your 10 rep max is over. It just means you have to remake that rep. So you end up doing a set of 11 if you get no rep once. You end up doing a set of 12 if you don't get no rep twice. As long as you complete 10 full squats while the barbell is in a front rack position, you're good to go. Pretty straightforward. We'll deal with any kind of extraneous questions the day we go.
Event number 2, men and women, teams of 3, all guys, all girls, 3 wall climbs and 7 unbroken wall balls. Let's go over here as we describe what we're going to get into. So Brett, Dave, Jerry, Mike, whoever you want on your team, is going to start with wall climbs. As he goes all the way up for his wall climb, his hands have to come back. That's going to be our standard. His hands have to come back behind the line for that to count. He's going to do 3 of those. In the event that he couldn't do those, he would do 9 mule kicks. All right. Then he would go into the unbroken wall balls. If he did that, the round would not count. Okay. Doing the wall balls, there's 7 of them. They have to be unbroken. So if he goes and he gets no rep, he doesn't have to start over, but that rep doesn't count. Meaning, if he had 2 no reps, he would do 9 unbroken wall balls to get that. When he finishes, because boom, there's 7, he has to physically tag his partner in. Mike gets down here and begins his wall climbs. Simultaneously, the girls will be doing the exact same thing. So they'll be rotating through their 3 partners. Again, 3 wall climbs followed by 7 unbroken wall balls, having to physically tag their partner in. They're going to AMRAP this for 8 minutes and then move on to event 3. Event number 3, so the whole team is going to be put in pairs, all right, and they're going to alternate through sets depending on which group they're in. The first group is going to do unbroken double unders for 4 minutes. They have to be unbroken in sets of 10, 10, 20, 20, 30, 30, 40, 40, 50, 50. So each athlete will do that, and then you'll cycle back through to the beginning. So Brent sets up. He does a set of 10 unbroken. Yes, son. And then Aaron's turn. He does 10 as well. If Aaron were to hit at 8, he would have to repeat. He would have to get that full 10 unbroken before Brent could move on to 20. And then Brent starts. They would AMRAP this for 4 minutes, and immediately at the end of that 4 minutes, the next group goes in. The next group pair is max effort shoulder touches. So Lindsay, the lovely gymnast that she is, she gets up here and she rocks back and forth. She's going to do as many as she possibly can. 45, 50, she gets up there. Aaron goes up behind her, and he continues the same thing. And he's tired from earlier. He comes down early. Lindsay goes back up. 1, 2, and she's off. Aaron decides he can't even jump up there all the way, so what he's going to do, as long as both feet are off the ground, and he kicks a hand up, that rep counts. So both feet are off the ground, and he physically makes the contact. Obviously, his turn is over as soon as his feet come back down. But if both feet are off the ground, that's the only standard we have for that. The next pair are going to do 10 for 10 overhead kettlebell squats for their 4 minutes. Okay? So the kettlebell goes up. Our standard is it has to be above the head, and the crease of the hip has to be below the top of the knee. That will be explained in further detail when we go through standards of movements. So he does 10 reps. That was definitely 10 mathematically on a Friday night. And Lindsay does 9, 10. And they would alternate back and forth for 4 minutes as well. The weights on those are 53, 35. 53 for the gentlemen, 35 for the ladies. 4 minutes, 4 minutes, 4 minutes, successively for a total of 12 minutes for event number 3.
All right, so we're on to event 4. It's actually 2 separate events, but all 6 athletes are going to perform 2 separate workouts through this entire thing. So 3 athletes will perform event 4A, 3 athletes will perform event 4B. There will be a very, very short break in the middle, about 1 minute to 2 minutes between those 2 sections. But let's break these down piece by piece. The first version of this, event 4A, teams of 3. Doesn't matter if it's guy, girl, guy, girl. It doesn't matter how you separate and order it. 3 athletes will perform the first one. It is 5 hang cleans, 7 burpees over the box for an 8-minute AMRAP. The kicker is 1 person performs the hang clean, then holds a front rack. Athlete number 2 will perform 7 burpees over the box. Athlete number 3 is resting, and you must cycle in that order. So then the resting person would go to the barbell goes to burpees, burpees goes to resting, and it kind of runs that way out. So we're going to do a really quick demo. It starts with 5 hang cleans. So she has to show a full deadlift to control the barbell at the top before performing her first clean. She goes in, it just has to be a power. He's not doing burpees just yet, although he started to. She finishes all 5 cleans, holds it in a front rack position. Now that she's finished her cleans, held in a front rack position, Brent can start burpees over the box. As far as getting over the box, it doesn't matter as long as some point in time both feet touch the box. So you can jump, you can step, you can plie, you can get 2 crab legs, okay? Let's say he finishes all 7, he steps all the way over top of the box. 7, end of round, now we rotate. Barbell is now allowed to drop. Brent goes into resting. Lindsay moves on to burpees. Holly, who was resting, comes out, picks up the bar. She's resting, you're not doing burpees yet. 5 hang cleans. Yeah. She performs all 5 of them, holds it into a front rack position. Now we can start our burpees while she goes the whole entire way. And it's going to cycle that way the entire way out. Okay, pretty straight, simple, and forward. 8 minutes, 2 really basic movements. The one question that everybody's going to ask is, if I put the barbell down, what happens? If you put the barbell down, that's fine, but any burpee that takes place while that is out of a front rack position does not count. So you're going to have to re-clean the barbell up into a front rack position before you continue your burpees to make your way the whole way through. Pretty straightforward. Okay, now we're going to roll directly into event 4B. Event 4B is very similar. It's going to run the exact same way, but it's 2 different motions. Okay? You're going to do 3 hang snatches, 5 burpee pull-ups. The barbell must be held in an overhead position while the burpee pull-ups are going. Okay? The kicker is the weights are the same for both events. So you're going to do 135 pounds for gentlemen, 85 pounds for ladies on the hang cleans in event 4A. In event 4B for the hang snatches, 135 pounds, 85 pounds. Okay, so that's your rules as we go into it. So we're going to demo this one straight through just to get an idea as far as what we're going with. Brent picks up the bar. We're going to act like this is 135 pounds. He shows, once again, control at the top, starts performing his hang snatches. There's 1, there's 2. He's going to get his 3rd one. He's going to maintain an overhead position. Athlete number 2 is over, performing burpee pull-ups. Chest goes all the way down to the floor. Chin gets over top of the bar. Pretty straightforward and simple. Athlete number 3 is resting. When she finishes her last burpee pull-up, barbell comes down. All 3 athletes rotate. Okay? So, again, Holly would step in. We'd go through the same exact motion. Pretty straightforward. Okay? It runs the same exact way. The one thing to keep in mind, the standard on the burpee pull-up is going to be really straightforward. All of the heights will be set for each team, so you have the equal amount of height. You have to do your burpee pull-ups on a bar that you can't physically touch. But how you get over top of it is completely up to you as long as you're only using your arms. So I can do a kip. I can do the down chest all the way to the floor. I can jump up, get a hold of the bar, and kip. I can jump up, get a hold of the bar, and just dead hang. Or I can absolutely just explode straight into that pull-up up over top. Doesn't really matter. As long as your nipples touch the ground, your chin gets over top of the bar very, very cleanly, you're good to go. And that's going to be event 4A and 4B. 4A will run all the way through 8 minutes. Very short break to move the boxes out of the way and get the next athlete set. Event 4B will run directly after it. Same for 8 minutes. The 3 athletes in the event 4A cannot compete in event 4B. So your whole entire team of 6 will take place somewhere inside of that gap. Event 5, okay? All 6 teammates will actually perform event 5. You'll be broken up into male-female pairings, all right? Doesn't matter how you break it up as far as that goes, but you need 1 male, 1 female in a pairing for each one of these. As far as the traditional breakdown of this workout goes, there's 10 deadlifts, 10 hand release push-ups for each athlete from pair 1, 10 push jerk, 10 hand release push-ups, actually shoulder to overhead technically for the push jerk, but it can be split jerk, push jerk, whatever the heck you want, push press, strict press. Most people should be push jerking. For each athlete in pair 2, 10 overhead squats, 10 hand release push-ups for each athlete in pair 3. The way this actually breaks down is it's a relay race style. So pair 1 is going to get in and they have to do a 250-meter buy-in. So one athlete, doesn't matter which one it is, gets on the rower, 250-meter sprint, boom, 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 boom. Once they finish the sprint, they can take off running to the barbell, and they are going to be responsible each for performing 10 deadlifts. For gentlemen, it's 275. For ladies, it's 155. Followed by 10 hand release push-ups. One athlete working at any given time. So 10 deadlifts, 10 push-ups. They're going to run back after stripping the barbell to the next weight, tag their partners. They will do a 250-meter row for pair number 2. They'll be waiting in a barbell at 185, 105 for 10 shoulder to overhead, 10 hand release push-ups, again for each athlete. Those 2 athletes will strip the final remaining plate off, recollar it. They'll run with those plates back to tag pair number 3, 250-meter buy-in, run up, 10 overhead squats, 10 hand release push-ups for each athlete. They run back. Now we go in reverse order. So you're still responsible again for 250-meter row, overhead squats, push-ups, 250-meter row, shoulder to overhead push-ups, 250-meter row, deadlifts, push-ups. And again, we're going to go outside and actually show you how the weight changes. There will be a distinct start and finish line as far as things go. Only 2 athletes at any given time are allowed to pass that line. So while one pairing is out working with the barbell, the rest of the team has to stay back here by the rower. Okay, so Brent and Lindsay are going to play all 3 pairs, but keep in mind this is going to be broken into all 6 athletes as far as it goes. So pair number 1 starts, okay? 3, 2, 1, go. Athlete number 1 gets on the rower, starts to perform a 250-meter row, okay? He is going to be responsible for the entire row. Not that you would ever want to break up 250 meters, but if you were thinking about it, you're not. Okay, one athlete puts down 250-meter row. Once he finishes the row, both athletes are going to take off running. Okay, now, we made this a shorter distance for video purposes. Follow me out, here's the camera. But, in reality, you'll be running the entire length of the parking lot, roughly 80 meters when it comes down and back as far as the shuttle goes. Each athlete is responsible for 10 deadlifts and 10 hand release push-ups. So we have 1 barbell set, exactly how it's going to be set. For gentlemen, it'll be 45-pound plate, 25-pound plate, 45-pound plate. For ladies on the other side, it's going to be 25, 10, 25 as far as how that goes. So Brent starts working first, only 1 athlete moving. He's going to perform 10 deadlifts. We're going to say that was 9 and 10. He finishes. He drops down and does 10 hand release push-ups. He can pick his hands up. He can twirl them out. As long as he's flat on the ground, there's movement in his hands, we're good to go. He finishes 10. Now our athlete number 2 can perform her 10 deadlifts. That's 9, that's 10. Barbell goes down. She performs her 10 hand release push-ups. Once they've finished, he can't uncollar yet. Once they've finished all 40 reps, they can strip the first plate off the outside of the barbell. So Brent's going to pull the 45s off of his plate, or off of his bar. If we had a full bar listed out for Lindsay, she'd be pulling the 25s off the outside of that. Now we have 4 plates. They are responsible for carrying all 4 plates back to the start line. Once both barbells are recollared, they pick up their plates. Let's act like Lindsay has 25s in her hands. They run all the way. They set the weight plates down. They tag group number 2. Pop! And they're going to start, group number 2 is going to go that way. So now Rob and Lindsay are going to play our lovely pair number 2. We're going to act like there's another female in the mix. Again, 250-meter row. Pair number 2 finishes the row. They take off running. They're responsible the same exact way for 10 and 10 of shoulder to overhead, so it can be strip press, push jerk, split jerk, whatever the heck you want to do. Okay? I'm going to say that was 10. He puts it down, goes into his hand release push-ups. Boom, he finishes 10 hand release push-ups. Our second athlete, go ahead and start. That's 10. She puts the order 11. Puts the barbell down, hits her hand release push-ups, and you guys kind of see how this is going. Now, Rob is responsible for stripping the 25s off the guy's bar. Lindsay's going to be responsible for stripping the 10s off the female bar. Once they have all 4 plates off the bar, recollar the bars before they're allowed to leave. Both athletes will pick up their respective barbells, or weight plates rather, and they'll again run back to the start line. Boom, drop that off. Tag the next pairing. So pair number 3 again sits down. One person starts their 250-meter row. Boom, he hits 250. They're going to run down. And they're responsible for same exact thing as far as overhead squat. Boom, all the way up. We'll say that's 10, drops it. Again, he's going to go down and do his push-ups. Once he finishes his last push-up, that's 10. Lindsay goes ahead, takes the barbell up. She's going to perform 1 overhead squat. She's done. She goes down, performs her 10 hand release push-ups. They now don't have to strip the bars. Okay, we're already at the lowest weight it's ever going to be. They sprint back to the start line. Okay? Once they cross the start line, your team is responsible for repeating the same exact workout, but back on the way up. So it's going to be 10 overhead squats, 10 push-ups, then 10 shoulder to overhead, 10 push-ups, and 10 deadlifts, 10 push-ups. You can mix match the order of who does what exercises, but the male-female pairings have to stay the same. The other kicker is, this time back up, whoever did the rows out of your pairing the first time through is not allowed to do the rows the second time through. So by the end of this workout, all 6 athletes will perform 1 250-meter row. So now this time through, Lindsay is going to hop on the rower. She's going to perform her 250-meter row because she didn't do any in the first set. She pulls, she's done. They run down, perform overhead squats. We're going to assume they already did that. They run back, tag the next group. That person sits down, does a 250-meter row. They have to pick up the 25-pound plates, run the 25s out, rack the bar, collar it, perform their shoulder to overhead, their hand release push-ups, run back, tag the next group, 250-meter row. They grab the 45-pound plates, run down, collar it, put it together, perform their deadlifts and their deadlifts and hand release push-ups. Then they sprint. A time will be called once both or all 6 athletes rather successfully get past the finish line. Okay? This is for time, but there's a pretty tight 15-minute cap on this. It's definitely doable. We did a variation of this, got it just over top 15 minutes with a little bit of clutter in the middle of it. So it's definitely doable, but it will be tight cap for a lot of people. And that's going to be your last event. That's going to pull everything together, and that's going to be the epic ending to Validus Games 2.0 for 2014.